This is what happened when I tried to make a heavy shoegaze track inspired by Quannic. Distorted guitars, dreamy vocals, oversaturated drums. Here's how I did it. So lately I've been into the way Quannic blends oversaturated drums, soft vocals, and distorted atmospheres. I wanted to take that idea and push it into a more heavier, shoegazier territory. Kind of like Bowery Electric meets My Bloody Valentine. But I think overall the end result reminded me of Deftones a bit. I started with a simple chord progression, but instead of using the original chords from the reference, I reharmonized the melody to avoid copyright issues. So the drums are real, but I tried to play them in a loopy, sort of sampled way. I didn't want it to feel too tight, it needed to breathe just a little bit. I individually processed them and EQ'd them slightly different, but what's really important here is the grouped drum track. Now I added some compression, some EQ, and what makes it that Quannic distorted drum sound is these two effects right here from Safari Pedals. This is the Bull Sub machine that I also used for the bass. And now for some oversaturation with the Gorilla Drive. I'm going to leave my affiliate link in the description box down below. Safari pedals are great. They're pretty much like a plug and play, but of course you have all the control to, tweak it out and make them sound how you want. So now let's hear the drums with the Gorilla. That's without. And now with. Then I added a simple bass line to glue everything together. Now this is where things get thick and dirty. Now for my main guitars, the fuzz that I'm using is the Divey from Champion Lecky. I layered multiple fuzz guitars, some wide stereo rhythm, a lead line buried in reverb, and I washed all of that out with some saturation and more reverb to give you that wall of sound. So for this guitar, I'm using the Soft Focus Deluxe from Cattle and Breed, or is it Cattle and Breed? And I'm also using the JHS 3 Series chorus pedal along with the Lore by Walrus Audio. Let's hear the end part. I think this really sounds cool. For our lead guitar, I'm using the Bonfire by Fuzzimp. I love using this fuzz pedal. I also have the Lore linked up with this fuzz, and that's also giving us that wide, sort of washy wall of sound. And this is what that sounds like. So I'm going to show you my dry vocals versus the processed vocals. Get away. And then with compression and a flanger, some EQ. I have it EQ'd so it sounds kind of like a megaphone effect or like this coney sound. I also have a Dragon EQ to boost mids and high frequencies. And then I have a saturator just to add some drive and just push it a little bit more. And then a vocal synth as a widener. The vocals were kept calm, soft, and airy. I doubled them and added some flanger and a little bit of reverb just to kind of smooth things out. Just to make them feel a part of the atmosphere instead of sitting them on top. Get away. Mixing this kind of song is all about contrast, pushing the fuzz and distortion while keeping space for the vocals and the drums to breathe. Alright you guys, and after all that, here are my final results. So that's the track. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and what would be your approach to writing a song inspired by Quannnic. If any of you guys are into shoegaze, fuzz, or lo-fi textures, then consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and your engagement here on the channel, both positive and negative. And until the next video, I will see you guys in the next video.